テレ東
ビズ
4月14日、台北市内の空港に到着した1機のチャーター機。乗っていたのはアメリカバイデン大統領が台湾に派遣したアメリカの非公式代表団です。その一人、東アジア情勢に精通しアメリカきっての知日派でもあるリチャード・アーミテージ元国務副長官。早速台湾の蔡英文総統と会談し、こう強調しました。
President Biden's administration. His purpose is only to support the continuation of this great democracy which you all have built.
この直後、アメリカ・ワシントンで行われた日米首脳会談。
We committed to working together to take on the challenges from China.
共同声明では、台湾海峡の平和と安定の重要性を強調するとして、52年ぶりに台湾が盛り込まれ、挑発を続ける中国を強く牽制。5月初めにロンドンで行われた G7 先進7カ国外相会合でも声明に台湾が明記されました。こうした中、テレビ東京の単独インタビューに応じたのは、バイデン大統領の非公式代表団として台湾を訪問したアーミテージ氏です。
Well, the message was threefold. First of all, it was a great appreciation for the leadership of Dr. Tsai Ing-wen for her 23.5 million citizens. There's great appreciation for her handling of the economy, which has been also spectacular for the last couple of years. But finally, there was also the message that it is not President Biden's intention to use Taiwan as a pawn against China. He wants to support Taiwan democracy because it's in Taiwan's, the U.S., and the West's interest. Well, it was very interesting. All of us, to varying degrees, knew Dr. Tsai quite well. I've known her for about 25 years. Jim Steinberg has known her for quite a while. And Chris Dodd, the reason he was on the delegation was not because he's a Taiwan expert, but he was the floor manager for the Taiwan Relations Act 42 years ago. So we were very well met. We met everyone in the government, and very surprising to all of us, our visit was wall-to-wall coverage 24/7, even though the majority of the newspapers and TV stations have great Chinese ownership. But they still let the story play out.
What message do you think the whole trip conveys in terms of U.S.-Taiwan relations for the Biden administration?
I think that in the beginning of the Biden administration, when our cabinet officers were having their nomination hearings, the Republican senators were singing a song of, oh, President Biden will be soft on Taiwan, et cetera, et cetera. So I think, first of all, the Republicans have moved away from that because it didn't turn out to be true. Second of all, as we saw at Anchorage, Mr. Blinken and Mr. Sullivan were very strong with the Chinese. And third, by sending people who are long and well known to the Taiwanese, I think we got rid of any possible hangover of the thought that maybe Biden will be soft on China and not as supportive of Taiwan.
バイデン大統領は1月の自らの就任式に台湾の駐米代表を正式に招待。アメリカが台湾と断交した1979年以降初めてのことでした。さらに台湾当局者とアメリカ政府関係者との交流制限を緩和するなど台湾との関係を強めています。
I think President Biden will still be abiding by our communiques and our six assurances in the Taiwan Relations Act. But President Biden feels that it's no longer and is not necessary. In fact, it's inappropriate to just look for ways to keep Taiwan down. To have Ambassador Bi Kim Shao come to his inauguration was great. To loosen the guidelines makes a lot of sense. So I would say within limits of our unofficial relationship, there's 100% support for Taiwan.
会談では世界的に不足している半導体の話題も。台湾は受託生産において世界の6割以上を占めています。世界最大手の受託生産メーカー、台湾の TSMC について、アーミテージ氏は会談で重要なやり取りがあったことを明かしました。
Well, the business deal is done, and she was happy to have it, but she understood in our discussion back and forth that it also has not only just an economic investment aspect, it has aspects of security, both for us, but in a way, it also makes the United States more, not less, dependent on semiconductors from Taiwan. And I think that gives confidence to people in Taiwan that, yet again, the United States needs Taiwan free and open survival.
一方、台湾周辺での挑発行動を続ける中国軍。アーミテージ氏らが台湾を訪問した直前にも、戦闘機など25機が台湾の防空識別圏に侵入するなど、威圧的な行動が目立っています。今年3月、アメリカ軍の高官は、中国による台湾への武力侵攻の可能性を指摘。
Taiwan is clearly one of their ambitions before then, and I think the threat is manifest during this decade, in fact, in the next 6 years.
これについてアーミテージ氏は、
My own view, and I expressed this to our Taiwanese friends, I don't think those numbers have any meaning. They just were said, but the data to back them up, I don't think exists. And I've said that publicly.
Okay.
Yeah, the threat of military force has been there for some time. My personal view is China accomplishes several things. One, they keep the Taiwanese on their back foot. Second, it makes some anxiety and uncertainty in Taiwan. And third, it also causes Taiwan Air Force, particularly, just like you're experiencing mostly with your Navy, but some with your air defense forces, you have to have wear and tear on your aircraft. I think there are also reasons to think that, at least in the medium term, China doesn't want to have trouble. You've got the 100th anniversary of the Communist Party. Probably you have the Tokyo Olympics. And you will have the Winter Olympics, February, March of next year in Beijing. I don't think China wants to do something really bad at the same time they're continuing to consolidate Hong Kong and they're having trouble in Xinjiang. So I think China is, they know what they're doing. I don't like it, but I don't think they're on a war path right now.
But could there be some kind of, contingency? Is that a possibility in the near future?
Of course. Well, you added, could there be a contingency? Of course. In the near future, that I don't know.
政権発足から4ヶ月。バイデン大統領は今、経済や防衛など全ての面で中国との競争を念頭に政策を打ち出しています。
We're in competition with China and other countries to win the 21st century. He's deadly earnest about becoming the most significant, consequential nation in the world.
If you were to have like a policy recommendation to the Biden administration, what would it be in terms of the relationship with Taiwan going forward?
To make sure that at every opportunity we do what we can to uplift the spirit and morale, as well as the military capability of the Taiwanese people and defense forces. It would be for deterrence, but if people don't think that you're serious about your relationship in Taiwan, then there is no deterrence.
最後までご覧いただきましてありがとうございます。テレビ東京の経済ニュース、経済番組をもっと見たいという方は、こちらの画像をクリックして 動画配信サービステレ東ビズにアクセスしてください。どうぞよろしくお願いいたします。